Hello and welcome to Twist Grip Tales. Here we are on a beautiful blue sky, crisp autumn morning at Winton International Raceway, 250 kilometres north of Melbourne. That's about 150 miles. And we've got the Austin 7 Car Club, one of the oldest car clubs in Australia, operating the biggest historic event, the 4x2. And you can see some of these vintage classics going past here on the track in the background, making magnificent noises. Bugattis, V8s, flatheads, all sorts of vintage cars. But we're not here for the cars so much as we've been invited up here to talk to a very special crew of motorcyclists. And we're going to go and meet them very shortly. So follow me and welcome on this magnificent blue sky autumn day here at Winton. And a great day it's going to be. Hello, we're at Winton, 2x4, 2 wheels by 4 wheels, a great meeting. And today I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm wearing a Harley hat and an Indian hat, because today we're here to check out these guys racing Handshift, Harleys and Indians. So welcome guys, introduce yourselves.
G'day, I'm Brian.
I'm Jack.
G'day, I'm Clint. G'day, I'm Mick.
Mason.
Check out Mason's moustache, pretty cool. Mick, you're doing okay. You're pretty shaggy there. Yeah. So there's a rule here, I think, that says that you've got to be older than the motorbike that you're racing. Is that true, Mick?
No.
Because we've got a few young fellas here as well, and we've got about 3 generations. We've got father, son, 3 generations, but there's 4 sometimes racing. Yeah. Now, what's unique about these machines is that they are very old. What's the criteria for racing, for a machine to be racing in this Handshift class?
750cc side valves, basically using all original parts. You can change carbies, but they're all 750 rigid rear end, foot clutch, hand shift, 3-speed, and pretty much stock standard brakes. And you can run magneto ignition. So that's pretty much it. There's not much else on the bike.
All right, so we're going to have a look at these bikes in detail and work out how they work, get a demonstration on how they work, because if you're younger than maybe 30 years of age, you're not going to understand any of that technology. We're going to be talking and explaining things like magnetos. What the hell is a magneto? Talking about hand shift. What is a hand shift? A foot shift? A quick shifter? Quick shifters?
No, far from it.
No. But if you're in modern parlance, if you saw Troy Corsa race at the Spirit of Speed over in England on a pre-war BMW 500cc supercharged machine, which war? No, not Afghanistan or Iraq or any one of those. No, World War II, the one that I was in. If you saw that, you'll see that was a stick shift bike, and young Troy was changing with his left hand. And we'll see a little bit of left hand gear changing here demonstrated this afternoon. So why do you race?
Well, I race lots of different classes. I've been racing for 20 years, sidecars, solos, and the simplicity of these bikes has always gotten me. The pre-war bikes, basically it's just an engine, a frame, and almost no suspension. Can't get any simpler than that.
All right, so we've heard from the old fart why he's enthusiastic to ride and race the bike that he rode to school when he was a kid. But why does a young fella get involved in a bike that is, what are they? These are what, I'm guessing here, pre-1952, like early 1940s?
All basically pre-1945.
Pre-1945, all right. So why does a young fella like you...
Oh, just a bit of fun, good bunch of blokes, just a bit different.
They are certainly just a little bit different. Very classic, very noisy. When we came in here today, you guys were doing a warm-up lap and they sounded magnificent. So what sort of muffler do you use on these bikes?
There's not much there.
I think in the old days what they used to say, the police used to make sure that you were in EPA, before EPA, and they'd be testing mufflers to make sure they had baffles in them, and they used to poke a piece of wire up the exhaust pipe checking out for the baffles, and the standard response was, don't poke it up too far, you'll bend the exhaust valve. And I think that's what you guys are doing here. Yep. Don't bend any exhaust valves. So what sort of machine are you riding?
1939 Indian Sport Scout.
Why an Indian sport?
Dad's been involved in the motorcycle scene for many years. I've sort of just followed his footsteps and feel pretty privileged to be racing with him. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you rode your bike to school when you were a young fella?
Yes, I did. Not that one, but I did ride a motorbike to school when I was young.
Because when we were young, you could buy a WLA Harley for £5 in its original crate in the wrapping papers. Did you get one of those? Because I saw the advertisements. I tried to find out where you gave your £5, so could never find one.
No, that's right. No, I did have one of those at one stage, yes, for £5, and rode it until it broke, and then sold it and bought a Triumph. Made a mistake, it's bought a Triumph, which I've still got, but Indians are fantastic. We love them, and they go good, and they're really good, really good fun.
There we go. So let's have a talk to this mustache down here. So what sort of machine do you ride?
I ride a 1942 Indian Pony Scout.
A Pony Scout?
Yeah, so it's more of just a slimline version of the Scout that we've modified with our race engine.
All right, so I've never heard of a Pony Scout. I know the Scout is an Indian term. It's a modern bike as well, the Scout, which is they've turned that into some sort of overhead valve. What have they? They've messed with it completely. It's no longer a side valve. They've changed it completely. The styling's not too bad as far as a modern Indian goes, but it's not a side valve.
No.
So all the character is in the side valve, and so why don't we go and have a close-up look at a few of these bikes? Which one's yours?
I'm number 11 across the road.
Across the road, all right. Well, thanks, guys, for sharing with us. Let's go. What we want now is a demonstration on how you go and change, how you ride these things, because they're not like a standard bike. Let's go and have a demonstration. Excuse me, guys. Do you just enjoy this motorcycle just over here a second? That'd be great. Thank you very much. Well, what a great day here at Winton Clinton.
Yeah, ripper day. It's going to be a good weekend. Weather couldn't get any better. Track's really good out there. We've done our first practice qualify. Bike's running pretty good.
And sounding really good too.
Thank you. Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's just go through the bike. So what describe this bike to us?
Okay, this is a 1939 Indian Sports Scout, big base Sports Scout. So we have, with the Indian Sports Scouts, we have left-hand throttle.
Now, for those of you that ride a normal bike, normally you've got a right-hand throttle, but Indians were famous for never being stolen because they had the throttle on the left. So you've got to be ambidextrous, whatever, a bit different. So, and what else has the bike got that's unique?
So we got left-hand throttle, right foot clutch, and then because we've got left-hand throttle, we have to have a right hand shift. So we've got hand shift is first, up, second, third. So once we get in, we pull out of first gear.
And where are the rest of the gears? So 6-speed gearbox?
It's 3-speed, that's it.
3-speed.
3-speed, and we have a lockout on our first gear, so as soon as we pull out of first gear, it locks that first gear out. So all we're using is second and third gear around the track.
Okay then. And so down here and the foot pedal down the right hand side here.
Rear brake.
And you've got the forks at the front. These are upside down forks.
Girder forks, yes.
Girder forks. And hydraulic suspension here.
Yes, it works great.
Where's your shock absorbers?
There.
No shock absorbers. So, and the rear suspension?
No rear, it's rigid. No rear suspension.
So just
springs,
two springs in the seat. That's the rear suspension and
box of sparks. There's magneto. Pretty bulletproof. Great bike. Really fun to ride. You can throw them around, and as you can see, I'm scraping pegs. So these things tip right over. We run modern tyres, so they should almost be able to do what modern bikes can do. But yeah, great fun bike to ride, and yeah, I'll keep doing it for years.
There we go. So it's very simple. So let's be up close. So just show us, sit on the bike and show us. So we've got the clutch down here. So you've got to put your foot on the clutch.
Good clutch. First gear. Rev it up.
First gear, rev it on the left.
Yep. Release your clutch and away you go. Second gear, third gear.
It's as simple as that. What could be any better?
Exactly right.
And then how do you get down out of the wind behind the fairing?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. All right. Why don't you give her a start up for you?
that is what a real motorbike sounds like.
Go Indian.
No overhead cams, no overhead valves, just the side valves.
Simple and they go good, really good.
And sound awesome. Thank you, Clint. What a magnificent machine. Let's follow number 39, shall we? I love the fuel pouring out. That was a great demonstration. It runs on fuel, not on willpower.